A particle of mass is projected with velocity u at an angle of inclination alpha above the horizontal in a medium whose resistance is k times the velocity. Its direction will again make an angle alpha with the horizontal after a time. So, pause this video and try to solve the question. Okay. This question is related with the projectile motion. Here the body is projected with the velocity u by making an angle alpha through a medium, and that medium has a resistance that is k times the velocity. Okay. And we want to find the time after which the body again make the same angle alpha with the horizontal. Okay. You consider a body is projected with a velocity u and it makes an angle alpha with the horizontal. Now we can resolve this velocity vector into two components, ux equal to u cos alpha horizontal component, uy is equal to u sin alpha vertical component. Okay, and in the projectile motion we know that if there is no resistive force, then the horizontal component is constant, that is horizontal motion is uniform motion, but vertical motion is non-uniform motion, that means velocity changes with time. Okay, now here in this question the medium applies a resistive force and that resistive force is k times the velocity. Okay, so we can say that both these velocities are variable. Okay, that means horizontal motion and vertical motion are non-uniform motion. You got it? After a time t, let us assume the body is reached at this point. At this point the velocity is given by the tangent drawn and it is v. Okay, and in the question it is also given it makes the same angle alpha with the horizontal. So we can mark alpha as the angle with the horizontal. So this velocity vector also can be resolved into two. One is v cos alpha and the other one is v sin alpha. Okay, and here the important point is this medium applies a resistive force. That resistive force is opposite to this velocity vector, that is in this direction. Okay, and this force has two components along x and y. So the body has acceleration along x and y direction. Okay, along y direction it is ay and along x direction it is ax. You got it? To solve this problem, first consider the motion along x direction, that is horizontal direction. In this direction acceleration is ax, that is dvx divided by dt. Okay, and we know that the force is given by F is equal to ma. So acceleration is F divided by m. Here the force along x direction is only the resistive force, that is x component of resistive force, that is minus kv x divided by mass. Okay, but in the question it is given that the mass is equal to 1 kilogram. So acceleration along x direction is minus k into vx. Okay, so we can write it is equal to minus kvx. Now we can rewrite this equation as dvx divided by vx is equal to minus k dt. Okay, then integrate, then integral dvx divided by vx is equal to minus k into integral dt. Now we have to apply the limit. The limit of time is 0 to t. 0 is the initial time. So at t equal to 0 we can see the velocity along x direction is u cos alpha, and at t equal to t the velocity along x direction is v cos alpha. Okay, so we can write this as integral from u cos alpha to v cos alpha. Okay, on integration we get natural log vx from u cos alpha to v cos alpha is equal to minus kt. Okay, so first you put upper limit, then we get a natural log v cos alpha minus natural log u cos alpha is equal to minus kt. Okay, this is natural log a minus natural log b, that is equal to natural log a by b. So we can write this is equal to natural log v cos alpha divided by u cos alpha is equal to minus kt. Cos alpha cancelled. So natural log v by u is equal to minus kt, or v by u is equal to e raised to minus kt. So v is equal to u e raised to minus kt, isn't it? So we can take this as equation number 1. Now consider motion along vertical direction. Along vertical direction, acceleration is ay. Ay is equal to dvy by dt. Okay, we know that along vertical direction there are two forces, there are two acceleration. One is due to acceleration due to gravity g, and the other one is due to frictional force, that is minus kvy, isn't it? So the net acceleration is minus kvy minus g. Okay, now we can write it as dvy by dt is equal to minus k into vy plus g by k. Okay, then rearrange the equation as dvy divided by vy plus g by k is equal to minus k dt. Now integrate it. So integral dvy divided by vy plus g by k is equal to minus k integral dt. Okay, integration of time from 0 to t. Okay, and the velocity is from, at t is equal to 0, vertical component is u sin alpha, and at t is equal to t, vertical component is v sin alpha, but it is in downward direction, so it is negative. So integration is from u sin alpha to minus v sin alpha. Okay, so we can write integral u sin alpha to minus v sin alpha dvy by vy plus g by k is equal to minus k integral 0 to t dt. On integration, we get natural log vy plus g by k from u sin alpha to minus v sin alpha is equal to minus kt. Okay, that is natural log, you put the upper limit, then we get minus v sin alpha plus g by k. So you can rewrite as what? G by k minus v sin alpha. Okay, minus natural log u sin alpha plus g by k, that is g by k plus u sin alpha is equal to minus k t. Okay, we can rewrite it into log a by b form. So natural log g by k minus v sin alpha divided g by k plus u sin alpha is equal to minus kt. Okay, now you look here. Here we can rewrite this as g minus kv sin alpha by k divided by g plus ku sin alpha divided by k. K cancelled. Therefore, natural log g minus kv sin alpha divided by g plus ku sin alpha is equal to minus kt. Okay, or g minus kv sin alpha divided by g plus ku sin alpha is equal to e raised to minus kt. Okay, now we can rewrite this equation as g minus kv sin alpha equal to g plus ku sin alpha into e raised to minus kt. Okay, then we can write again it as g minus kv sin alpha is equal to g e raised to minus kt plus ku sin alpha into e raised to minus kt. Okay, we can again rewrite this as kv sin alpha equal to g minus g e raised to minus kt minus ku sin alpha e raised to minus kt. Okay, we can substitute the value of v from equation number 1, that is v is equal to u e raised to minus kt. Therefore the equation becomes ku e raised to minus kt sin alpha equal to g minus g e raised to minus kt minus ku sin alpha e raised to minus kt. Now we can take ku sin alpha e raised to minus kt to the left hand side. We get 2 ku sin alpha e raised to minus kt equal to g minus g e raised to minus kt. Okay, now divide the equation with e raised to minus kt, then we get 2ku sin alpha is equal to g divided by e raised to minus kt minus g. Okay. Again we can write g divided by e raised to minus kt equal to 2ku sin alpha plus g. G e raised to minus kt is equal to g plus 2ku sin alpha. Sorry, g e raised to plus kt. Okay. Then divide all the term by g, we get e raised to kt is equal to g by g, that is equal to 1. So 1 plus 2ku sin alpha divided by g. Therefore kt is equal to natural log 1 plus 2ku by g into sin alpha, or t is equal to 1 by k into natural log 1 plus 2ku by g into sin alpha. വീഡിയോ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെങ്കിൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക, ഷെയർ ചെയ്യുക.